up for Rajnish Dhawan!
Going for David, please. And Alex, and the recording team. All right. So, as he said correctly, my name is Rajnish, and you might have guessed, I'm an immigrant, the legal one. I actually got my permanent residence visa when I was in India. I didn't even have to come here because I'm that smart. And when I got that visa, I got a lot of information from the Canadian government as to how to, prepare for my new life here in Canada, how to find new community, deal with isolation. I was like, dude, I'm running away from a family of 69 people. Isolation is last of my problems. But one of the interesting things in that information was teaching us about culture shock. That when you go to a new country, how to deal with culture shock. And one of the things in that thing was, Canadians are not afraid of public display of affection. So you might find two white people kissing publicly, and since you come from a conservative culture, you might be offended. First of all, I come from a culture that gave the world Kama Sutra. And secondly, I'll see two white people kissing and I'll be offended. That's not culture shock, that's free porn. And I know if you're a millennial, porn is free for you by and large. But I'm an 80s kid, man. During our time, watching porn was like undertaking a military operation. It required careful planning, proper execution, and safe and spotless evacuation. And I'm an 80s kid from India. During our time, even kissing scenes were banned in Bollywood movies. Yeah, this is how a typical romantic scene in a Bollywood movie in the 80s would go. Anita, मैं तुम्हें बहुत प्यार करता हूँ. I love you so much, Anita. And she's like, oh Ramesh, मैं भी तुम्हें बहुत चाहती हूँ. I love you too. And their lips are getting close and close, within a millimeter of each other. And then the screen cuts to two flowers on the screen. And by some magical force of nature, the breeze will start blowing in the opposite direction at the same time and the flowers begin to converge. And then they do this. And that is when in our heads we would imagine that the lips have met. Culture shock, kissing on the streets. I'm used to seeing people pissing on the streets. Bring it on. I mean, Canadian government should do some research. If you want to tell us about culture shock, tell us about the culture shock. You would probably know when we get the culture shock we get when we take our first shit in Canada. I don't know about you, but you might know that we have very hairy asses. Toilet paper doesn't do it for us. That is one reason. The other thing is that because of the spicy food we eat, there's a lot of heat coming down there. Doesn't matter if it's 2-ply, 4-ply, 8-ply, 16-ply, or fucking 32-ply. The moment the toilet paper comes in contact with an Indian ass, it dissipates into molecules imperceptible to human eye. So I land in Vancouver, right? And obviously it's a 24-hour flight. My tummy is doing all the bhangra it can do. So I find a toilet, I go in there, I do my business, and after that I'm looking for a source of water. Because that's what we do in India, we wash our asses. But there is none. Fucking I'm panicking out there, Alexa! Help! All that I have is fucking toilet paper. I used the last possible square available in that toilet. And still I came out of the toilet walking like this. Like an anal virgin who has just made her man very happy. Or a straight actor who has just worked in a gay porno for some fast cash. I'm feeling dirty, man. And then as I'm walking around, I see, in all its glory, my savior, the vending machine. I put $4 in, got a bottle of water out, go back to the toilet, open the bottle of water, it opens with a psst. It's fucking sparkling water. What am I going to do? I'm not going back to the vending machine. I used the same sparkling water to clean my bum. My ass twitched. It reacted. But then it dealt with the culture shock. But trust me, my ass has PTSD since then. Because even today when I fought, some bubbles escaped my mouth. Another shocking thing that I found when I moved to Canada was that in a country that has a province called Saskatchewan, you guys have a real penchant for monosyllabic names. Like whenever I go there, my name is Rajnish. Can I call you Raj? No. I'm not that loser on the Big Bang Theory who can't keep a girlfriend, asks his dad for his money, and wears socks with Crocs. He's a terrible sense of fashion. Fuck that dude. I'm Raj with a niche. And you know what my niche is? I'm a Hindu. I'm married to a Sikh. I went to a Christian school as a child, and I learned comedy from Muslims. All this is true, and trust me, Muslims are very funny people. You just have to look at the subtext. Don't take them too literally. And with the exception of indigenous people, like everybody else, I'm also an immigrant. So, if you have ever wondered, how does Canadian multiculturalism look like, feast your eyes. By the way, how do you like my Jesus pose? You know he was brown, right? I don't get culture shock, I give culture shock by what I do. Are you ready? So I teach English in a university. I'm a brown guy from India who teaches English to white people in Canada. And when I tell this thing to my friends in India, they get a culture shock. How do you teach English to white people? Don't they already know it? Yeah, they do. But some of them still have confusion between Y-O-U-R-your and you-are. And T-H-E-I-R there is different from T-H-E-R-E there, and none of them means they are. And when you're speaking proper English, you cannot use the word like 10 times in a sentence. And then end the word with a yeah.